Welcome back to Furious Cars. If you're new here, I'm your host bringing you honest, fun, and detailed car reviews in a style that feels like you're chatting with your car buddy. Today, we've got something exciting for all the SUV lovers out there, the 2026 Jeep Cherokee. Before we dive into this rugged and refreshed machine, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. Let's get right into it. So, the 2026 Jeep Cherokee is back and looking tougher and smarter than ever. Jeep has gone for an evolutionary rather than revolutionary approach this time, and honestly, that's not a bad thing. It still holds onto that classic Cherokee DNA, boxy yet refined, with just enough off-road grit to make you want to detour through the dirt road instead of the highway. But this time around, it's clearly aimed at being more modern, more tech-savvy, and definitely more comfortable. First impression, it's got presence. The front fascia has been tweaked with slimmer LED headlights and a more aggressive version of the 7-slot grille. It looks mean but mature. Kind of like that one uncle who rides a Harley but still shows up to family dinners in a blazer. Jeep also tightened up the body lines and gave it a little more attitude around the wheel arches. You can tell it wants to compete with the big names in the segment like the RAV4, CR-V, and even the Ford Escape, but it still keeps the Jeep character alive. Under the hood, there are a couple of engine options depending on the trim. The base comes with a 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, pushing out around 270 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, which is actually more than enough for your everyday drives and some light off-roading. But if you're the type who wants a bit more rugged capability, there's also a 3.2-liter V6 that Jeep fans are more familiar with, solid, dependable, and strong enough to tow up to 4,500 pounds. Not bad at all for a midsize SUV, right? Transmission is a 9-speed automatic across the board, and it's smooth, like surprisingly smooth. Shifts are seamless whether you're cruising on the highway or slowly crawling over rocky terrain. And of course, Jeep didn't forget what makes the Cherokee special. You've still got that 4x4 goodness, with multiple drive modes like snow, sand, mud, and rock. Whether you're in the city or heading up to the mountains, this thing adapts. Step inside and you'll feel a big upgrade from older Cherokees. The cabin is now cleaner and more premium. Soft touch materials are everywhere, and the design is sleek without losing the tough Jeep vibe. You've got a big 12.3-inch touchscreen in the center and a fully digital gauge cluster that's super customizable. Everything feels tight and modern. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard, and the Uconnect 5 system is still one of the easiest to use in the game. Jeep also added a head-up display and a 360-degree camera system, which is a lifesaver for city driving and parking in tight spots. Space-wise, it's more or less what you'd expect. Front seats are super comfy and supportive, especially for longer trips. Rear seats offer decent legroom, though taller passengers might want a bit more headroom if you go for the panoramic sunroof option. Cargo space is around 26 cubic feet behind the second row, expanding to almost 55 with the seats folded down. That's usable space for camping gear, groceries, or whatever life throws your way. One thing that really stands out in the 2026 Cherokee is how refined the ride has become. Jeep clearly paid attention to noise insulation and suspension tuning. Whether you're hitting potholes or cruising at 70 miles per hour, the ride feels composed and quiet. There's also adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, pretty much all the advanced safety tech you'd want in a family SUV. Now, let's talk trims. Jeep's offering the Cherokee in a few flavors. You've got your base Latitude, the mid-range Altitude, the more premium Limited, and then the off-road focused Trailhawk. If you're just looking for a solid daily driver with some style, the Altitude hits a nice balance. But if you plan on going off-road or love a beefier stance, the Trailhawk is the one to go for. It has better ground clearance, skid plates, and off-road tuned suspension. Fuel economy is pretty reasonable too. The turbo 4-cylinder gets around 24 mpg city and 31 highway, which isn't class-leading but still respectable. The V6, being more powerful, obviously drinks a bit more, expect closer to 20-27 mpg city highway. Now for the price. The 2026 Jeep Cherokee starts around $33,000 for the base model and can go up to about $45,000 fully loaded with all the bells and whistles. That puts it right in the sweet spot of the segment, competitive but with a bit more character and off-road credibility than most of its rivals. So, who is the 2026 Cherokee really for? It's for folks who want a stylish, practical SUV but don't want to drive something that feels generic. It's for the weekend adventurers who might hit a trail or two but still need something comfortable for everyday errands. It's for people who still want that Jeep feeling, without going full Wrangler. To wrap it up, Jeep did a great job keeping the Cherokee relevant in a super competitive market. It's not trying to be a luxury SUV, and it doesn't need to be. It stays true to its roots while making just the right improvements where they matter: comfort, tech, and capability. If you're in the market for a solid all-rounder with a hint of adventure in its DNA, the 2026 Cherokee should definitely be on your radar. That's it for today's review. Hope you enjoyed this detailed look at the 2026 Jeep Cherokee. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and of course, subscribe to Furious Cars for more awesome content like this. Let me know what you think about this new Cherokee. Would you pick it over something like the RAV4 or Escape? Catch you in the next one.